Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to a brand new Talkin and Grubbin mini podcast. Well, October is here, good people. That means a few things. Fall is here, the holidays are just around the corner, and one of my favorite times of the year, postseason baseball. And we're about to kick it off this weekend with the wild card series in the AL and the NL, respectively. And here's my breakdown for all four of them. Hey, since my home team is in it, I figure I start the first one with the home team. It's my Cleveland Guardians going up against the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, both these teams are coming into this postseason in opposite directions. The Guardians, they're coming in hot, while the Rays, they are just stumbling along, but don't let that fool you. Both of these teams are equally matched, and they definitely have huge connections. Terry Francona is the manager of the Cleveland Guardians. But the Rays manager, Kevin Cash, spent a lot of time with Tito here in Cleveland and also won a World Series with him in Boston. So they definitely know each other very well. All right, so now let's get into the matchups. Let's start with the pitching. Both teams have great starting pitching. The Guardians with Shane Bieber. He finished the regular season with a 13-8 record, as well as a 2.88 ERA with 198 strikeouts, as well as a 1.04 whip. On the flip side, in spite of his injuries, the Rays, they're coming with Shane McClanahan. He finished the regular season with a 12-8 record. He also had 2.54 ERA, as well as 194 strikeouts and a 0.93 whip. Now, for the Guardians' second starting pitcher is Tristan Mckenzie. He kind of started off a little bit slow, but he definitely found his footing, and he's taken off ever since then. He finished the regular season with an 11-11 record. He posted a 2.96 ERA, posing 190 strikeouts with a 0.95 whip. Man, that's some impressive stats, no matter what his record was during the regular season. Also for the Rays, Tyler Glasnow. He's coming back to pitch the second game of this series. He was out for a long period of time with Tommy John surgery. But on the flip side, they can also counter with some veteran pitchers if there's a game 3, such as the Guardians' old friend Corey Kluber, who spent a lot of seasons here in Cleveland, won a Cy Young or two. He posted a 10-10 record, a 4.34 ERA, posing 139 strikeouts with a 1.21 whip. I mean, don't let that fool you. He's a little bit older now, but that man can still definitely have a game. Also, they can counter with Jeffrey Springs if this series goes to a game 3. He finished the regular season with a 9.95 record, 2.46 ERA, 144 with 144 strikeouts and a 10.07 whip. Now the Guardians, they have Cal Quantrill, who's undefeated at Progressive Field this season. He finished the regular season with a 15-5 record. He had a 3.38 ERA, with 128 strikeouts as well as a 1.21 whip. So both these teams have great starting pitching. Lights out. They could definitely carry you to at least 7 innings, if not pitch a whole game. And they could definitely win a game in the postseason for you. Now, both these teams, they're definitely similar in hitting. With the Guardians, you have an AL MVP candidate in Jose Ramirez, who took a hometown discount to stay with the Guardians. He finished the regular season with a 2.75 batting average with 29 home runs as well as 124 RBIs, and along with a 0.862 on base percentage. That's pretty doggone good. Also, the Rays, they're counting with Randy Arozarena. I apologize for the mix-up. He finished with a 2.62 average, 20 home runs, 89 RBIs, as well as .771 on base percentage. That's just as good too. But the main reason why the Guardians are in this position is because of the rookies that came along. Now, This team is coming into the playoffs with at least 16 or 17 guys that made their major league debuts this year. That's very impressive because a lot of young guys who come up into the majors don't have years like some of these guys have had, like Andres Jimenez, who was an all-star. He finished with a 300 batting average, as well as 17 home runs, 69 RBIs, and a .8042 on base percentage. Also, you have the young rookie, who I think should be rookie of the year in my opinion. Maybe he does, maybe he gets it, maybe he doesn't, but Steve Kwan, he did his thing with a 2.99 average, as well as 6 home runs, 52 RBIs, and a .771 on base percentage. Definitely impressive. Also, Armand Rosario, he's had a great year. He finished with a 2.83 average, 11 home runs, 71 RBIs, and a .718 on base percentage. That's the thing with the Guardians. They definitely can get on base. This is not a power hitting team. You know, they're more of a contact team. They want to get on base. They also want to steal bases as well. Find a way to get from first to third. And that makes any opposing team's life miserable. But the Rays still have some other hitters as well, like Harold Ramirez, who finished the regular season with a .303 average, 6 home runs, 58 RBIs, and a .752 on base percentage. Also, our old friend to the Guardians, Yandy Diaz, he finished with a 2.96 batting average, 12 home runs, 57 RBIs, .824 on base percentage. Like I said, these teams are equally matched. Both Tito and Kevin Cash come from the same cloth, as they both spend time together in Boston and Cleveland respectively for almost a decade, excuse me. So Kevin Cash runs his team just like Terry Francona has ran his teams in Cleveland and Boston. So it's no surprise there that both these teams are built in very similar ways. Tampa Bay likes to get on base too. They're not a power hitting team either. They love contact. They also want to hustle, get on base, steal bases, go from first to third themselves. So this playoff matchup, both these teams are equally matched. Now, let me get to the bullpen. The Guardians, they've had outstanding years from closer Emmanuel Clase, who led the league during the regular season in saves with 42 saves, posted a 1.36 ERA with 77 strikeouts. Also, James Karinchak, who's the setup man, who I think is one of the best in the business. He finished the regular season with a 2.08 ERA and posted 62 strikeouts. On the flip side for the Rays, right now it's more closing by committee. No, my bad. Just playing. But no, seriously, the Rays, they have a pretty good closer in Pete Fairbanks. He finished the regular season with 8 saves. In spite of that, he posted a 1.13 ERA and posted 38 strikeouts. Now, here are my wild cards in the wild card, who I think could be the difference between either team advancing or either team going home. For the Guardians, it's going to be 2 guys, Miles Straw and Oscar Gonzalez. Now, Miles Straw, he definitely started out the season, struggling. But in the second half, he's really picked it up, and he's definitely had a great September. I mean, his regular season stats may not jump off the charts, but he's definitely been balling here in this last month. He finished with a 221 batting average, 0 home runs, but he had 32 RBIs and a .564 on base percentage, while Gonzalez finished with a 246 batting average, 11 home runs, as well as 43 RBIs with a .789 on base percentage. On the flip side for the Rays, my wild cards are the veteran David Peralta and Wander Franco. Franco, he's definitely had a pretty nice year so far. He finished with a .277 average, as well as 6 home runs, 33 RBIs, and a .746 on base percentage. On the flip side, Peralta finished with a .251 batting average, 12 home runs, 59 RBIs, as well as a .731 on base percentage. Now here's my prediction. Like I said, these two teams are equally matched. They're very similar to each other. Both managers manage the same way. Both teams are built the same way due to the fact that they have small payrolls. They don't have a lot of power hitting like your Yankees, your Astros, your Dodgers, your Braves, or even the Cardinals. But this team could definitely get on base. They like to steal bases, hustle hard, score, definitely frustrate any team with just old school baseball. This is the type of baseball you saw back in the 80s. You don't see this now in 2022. So a lot of people are looking as if, how did these teams get here and they're not the power hitting teams that these other teams are? Because most people felt like in the last 5 to 6 years, you win out homering your opponent. But these two teams are here, and one will advance and one will go home. So here's my prediction. I say the Guardians take this series in 3 games. Anyways, that's my breakdown of this AL wildcard matchup. Stay tuned for my other 3 breakdowns as I break down both teams and give my predictions. What do you think about this series? Who do you think is going to move on to play the Yankees? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I thank all my loyal subscribers for supporting me and subscribing to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure it's not your last. Make sure you click that red subscribe box, ding that notification bell, and click all so you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams from me. Also, like, comment, and share the video on your social media pages. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Salute.